trying to get from the one door back out to the lobby, I guess. I don't know if Master. No. There's no Bob on the inside for that outer door.
Oh yeah, yes, hit the button.
And then the guy took 20 minutes trying to find which door it was the other day. So
Well, we just started that, so they'll get better.
George was griping about it. So.
That's good for him.
Yep.
My dad always said it's good to get aggravated. Don't scare him.
Moved in, everything good?
Like I said, yeah, I got to listen to this 20-minute gripe the other
Well,
day
you're
about
there.
it. So.
You were waiting for that.
Nice.
What's that?
Trash bin.
It's already taken care of.
You know what? This weekend I didn't do it.
No, maybe a week.
Anonymous. Miss Anthony's anonymous.
Even have that.
All right, ready to go?
You ready?
Call commission to order. We have any minutes or reports?
Already?
Commissioner committee liaison reports or announcements of upcoming meetings and or events. How was Emmitsburg?
Emmitsburg was good. It was a long week, but snowy week, cold week. But my brain didn't freeze up, so I learned a little bit. So
We have
yeah.
Chamber Board of Directors meeting tomorrow and also Emergency Services Grant Allocation meeting tomorrow.
How was the chamber gala?
Long.
Was it? Did they play our clip?
They did. Actually, it was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah. And they had the mayor, so they played our clip.
Uh-huh.
And they break it in the middle. Yeah, I think they broke it in the middle. So, I said, where's the mayor at? And they break it in the middle, and they had the mayor sitting up there with his feet up and a paper going, oh, wait a second, I'm here. And then you had your line. It was great.
You should go over there and see it sometime.
I'll have to.
Yeah, it was pretty
The
good.
whole thing. Have them do the whole presentation.
Okay.
Have them do
It
have them do the whole dinner thing.
See, you just gotta know how to prick your seating. You sitting up front. I sat by the bar. Goes a lot faster.
So,
Well, they only have 2 bottles of wine on the table.
Yeah.
Them girls attack that pretty fast. They don't save
okay.
anything for the guys.
On that note, we'll move on. First item on the agenda is presentation from the Foster Care and Adoption Association. Deanna?
Hi, do you want me to come up towards you or stay back here?
Well, we got to do a microphone. That's about the biggest concern we got here. Oh, sign this one too.
I got some over here, too.
And this is one of our
Or
budget.
stand right here, or how would you guys
That
like
is
it?
perfect.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah,
doing
wherever
great.
you want.
Okay. My name is Deanna Alonzo. I'm the Executive Director of the Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption Association. I'm here today, Jeff, which invited and talked with me about the organization and the opportunity to educate you guys on what we're doing in our Cole County area. We've got nearly 300 children that are abused and neglected that are currently in the foster care system in Cole County. What we're doing is providing the services, education, support, and advocacy based around those kiddos. But more importantly, what we do is we advocate for permanent families, for forever families, to get the kids out of lingering in foster care into forever families and permanent homes. That alleviates some pressure off of our budget. It also helps these kids to start becoming healthy and part of our society and be able to know that they're loved and cared for and things like that. What we do is we connect with the Missouri Department of Social Services. So we were recognized and approved this year by the department, along with LINK, as the Central Missouri Adoption Resource Center. There's 4 in the state. There's one in St. Louis, Kansas City, now here in Central Missouri, and in Southwest Missouri in Springfield. So what we do is provide all the post-adoption services for the kiddos and for the families that are taking care of them. We get the first call after the juvenile office and the children's division picks up the kiddo and brings them into a home or a temporary home then they call us directly after that. So we are their go-to people. So what they do is they're providing the security for the kiddos, and we provide everything else. We've been able to deter from disruption at least 4 to 5 adoptions since we were the Adoption Resource Center. So families are not breaking apart now. Whenever they're adopting kiddos, they're getting the services that they need. That may be mental health referrals with our mental health providers here in our community, or whatever it may be, intensive treatment for the kiddos, dependent upon the 7 core issues of adoption, things like that. We don't break the adoption thing apart either. So we do both the international and domestic adoption care. So even if you've adopted overseas and you need support, we'll give you that support as well. So we do everything from beginning in backpacks, whenever the kids are taken out of their homes into these temporary homes, all the way to post-adoption, all the way to post-secondary education for the aging out foster youth. So we're matching those kids with mentors for 2 years. They need to seek some sort of plan upon aging out. That means they can go to college, or they can go into the AmeriCorps program or the NCCC. We don't care what it is, but they must have a plan. They're not under our watch. Being homeless, incarcerated, or dead, not going to happen here in Cole County. So with your support, we're asking that you see the outcomes that we've done. We've been here. This is our 6th year, going on our 6th year, and we really need your support. And just for you guys to help us stand up for these kids and be able to continue with the positive statistics that we're finding with the support that we're giving them. Any questions that you may have?
No, this came up under our budget, and that we are able to contract with various programs to help the poor. So it said you have to come up here and let us know what it's going to go towards. So that's what this is about.
So we've asked for $5,000 to support the annual gala. That's our top fundraiser that we have every year. That will support all of the programs that we have. So it will go into our general revenue stream, and we will allocate the funds to go into the appropriate Begin Again backpacks, to match the kids with the transitions program for the post-secondary education piece, all the way to the respite programming to make sure that we strengthen the family preservation piece, to the recruitment for Forever Families. We're hoping to partner with KRCG this year to do Wednesday's Child for recruitment, to get these kids out of a temporary situation into more of a permanent situation. So all the programs that you see in the brochure is where the funding will go to.
How many kids do you have roughly under?
Total?
Yeah.
About 1,400 that we're taking care of right now.
In Cole County?
In Cole County, it's nearly 300.
Okay.
And growing.
1,400 is over.
Total 13 county region.
Okay.
So those are just foster children. Adopted children, we don't have access to numbers, but we typically can say that it's about double that amount. So for Cole County, it's looking to be around 600 to 800 foster and adopted children that week.
Adoptive children we're not able to collect all the data, so they have to come to us because it's not sunshineable. And so if they're needing help, they reach out to us, and or we find them in various other programs that are in connection with our county.
So adoptive children would be kids that have already been adopted.
Adopted children, or we follow them from the foster to adopt. So we're in the pre and post adoption phase.
Okay. Good. I think it's a great program. I have a couple of friends that help out with foster care, and so it's
Oh, good.
it's they do. They're wonderful. So
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
So.
And just to end on this note, there's a stigma attached to foster children in that they've done something to get into the system, when the fact of it is they've been abused and neglected. That's why our county has pulled them from their biological homes, and it's our duty to make sure that they're healthy and successful, and so that's what we're trying to do. So
Just one other thing, do you have a pretty good success rate of finding people that will adopt these kids, or is it hard? Or I'm just trying to get some information.
I think once they're educated on what it means for that long term, and that there's support with it, and that there's no cost to foster to adopt. There just isn't, and they sometimes they they think that there is, or that it's not attainable to be able to do that, or that sibling groups are out there, and that they have to take all of them with into their home. And although that we advocate for that, sometimes that doesn't happen all the time. Some homes want babies, and sometimes we don't have that.
Right.
They're typically above the age of 12, and so we're looking for families that are able to take those kiddos.
Great.
Sounds like a great program. Thank you very much for coming
Thank
out.
you for
Thank you,
allowing me
Deanna.
to speak today.
Do you want to take this up now?
We got the contract. Is that what we?
No, I do not have one.
Take these up individually then as they present.
As
or-
they present.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we need to get a contract. So we need to get a contract from you all for services that it lays out what you're going to provide.
Okay.
So we can't do anything without that. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is the 2014-15 Assessment Maintenance Plan. I notice you have it torn apart at the moment.
Yeah. I was just looking over it. One of my only concerns and talking with Debbie was this really didn't have a whole lot of bearing on what the approved budget was for the assessor. But one of my concerns was over computerization and our little TIF that we had.
Right.
And shut off his services, and so computerization is in here, and so I don't really see anything that's an issue. Did you
Jeff?
you guys
Well,
have
it's
a
been in
chance to
there
look
before.
at it?
That's
Yeah.
why we fought with them, and the
Mhm.
tax commission said, yes, y'all can charge them for it, and that's basically what it came down to. Because I think if they would have said no, our hands would have been tied. We would have had to supply it.
I mean,
But
the only concern I have, and I've had historically with this, is the third paragraph that we signed to, which is the county will provide office facilities and the budgetary support as set out in this agreement.
I did talk to Maureen at the State Tax Commission basically about the plan versus the adopted
Right.
budget, and she confirmed to me that they will go by the adopted budget. They don't really go by the plan. The plan, unfortunately, is statutorily, they have to turn that in.
Okay.
But again, what I was concerned about was the personnel in there versus what we approved.
Right.
And she said she will go by what we approved.
So you just don't like the wording of the
Yeah, I
third
don't like
paragraph.
saying that we will provide the budgetary support as laid out in here. And I don't know if
Do we
that's
have the ability to
statutory language or.
Not to my knowledge.
So we could change it.
Strike it. David Brown probably wrote it.
Will we have to get Chris to re-sign it then?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
He had to have it turned over by you guys by December 31st, and then we have to February 1st to turn over state tax commission, so.
But I think what we should do then is with a change on that language, we should approve it. And then instead of signing this page, if you could prepare, Jill, a page that has the revised language in it that shows that we approve the budget, the assessment plan with the caveat that we're not agreeing to provide the budgetary support as set out in here.
Okay.
But we'll provide the support as we approve by budget.
Okay.
And then we can all three sign that one and
Okay.
attach that to this, and I think that serves the purpose. Is that good with everybody?
Redo the signature page then?
Yeah, do a separate signature page,
Right.
just, yeah.
Take that up again tomorrow then, or?
Or we could vote it now.
Okay.
And then, since with that one change, we know what we're approving. Unless you want to wait and see it tomorrow.
No, I don't care. I mean, I just,
Jeff?
do we need to have the language somewhat, I mean, I don't want to prove a change without knowing what the change is.
Why don't we
but
just take it up tomorrow? We'll just put it on the agenda for tomorrow, if you would, please.
under
It's old business. There you go. Thank you. All right, fixed cost share agreement with UMR. Our health insurance, it's our administrative services agreement. So we're officially in the insurance business once again. I don't know if you all had a chance to review this. Do you have a desire to review this?
Jill did review it too, and
It's all pretty standard.
Yeah.
This is what we got to do to have it.
Yep.
So,
What are you gonna do?
I entertain a motion to approve the cost share agreement.
So
Excuse me,
moved.
the fixed cost agreement with UMR. Have
So
a
moved.
motion.
Second.
Second. Call roll, please.
Bruce,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yes, by roll call vote, the agreement with UMR is approved. Janitorial supplies discussion. Jen?
Pass that to Chris.
I know that contract is coming up this spring. It's currently it's on its third year, so it would be renewed at that time. Stanco had sent an email that I forwarded to you outlining concerns with bidding it again, and wanted you to consider possibly extending the contract beyond the 3 years. And then, I don't know.
Want us to comment?
If you want to say something, the mic's.
Greg, you comment?
You are welcome to take the floor, Dan.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Are we on?
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
go through speakers. It
Okay.
just streams out on the web, so
Cool.
everybody can hear you.
Thank you. We've had some conversations with Greg also, and I think hopefully he's expressed his concerns. First of all, this contract's a little unique in the fact that the dispensers, you have 477 dispensers, whether it's toilet paper, paper towels, soap dispensers, whatever, that were installed. And when this contract came along, the jail was brand new, and there was a great deal of additional units installed. That was actually separate from the bid itself at the time. I think the contract was put in place for a very good reason. You had not had a contract for a long time, and there was a lot of confusion and disarray in how it was being utilized. Greg's done an excellent job of pulling that together, and of course Debbie, it works for us. She's, as you probably know her, she's very thorough with the way she handles projects, and we've helped streamline the operation. It's saving you hundreds of dollars every year, maybe thousands of dollars in the process. You're never out of inventory. We deliver 1 day a week, and we've cut out a lot of duplication and wasted material. Rebidding the why would we be wanting to extend it other than the fact that we like the business, of course? But a couple other things enter in. These dispensers, in most cases, are proprietary units. Other people's products typically don't fit in them, okay? They are yours to utilize as long as we have the business. So if we don't have the business, potentially they would have to be replaced and thrown in a landfill somewhere. Some more plastic, 400 units of it. You did pay, because of the extension of the quantities that weren't originally in the bid, you actually purchased and paid to install about $5,000 worth of product 3 years ago, in addition to the ones we put in. So that would be wasted as well. The other thing that kind of enters into whether you even need, how should I say this? Your contract, this is the first time you've done a contract like this. We've got it in place. We've actually never seen a price, you've not seen a price increase. The only, and I don't even know what this was from, but there was a $12 charge on something above and beyond the normal pricing for 3 years. We're offering to reduce the price of the paper towel use by 10% if you would extend this because of the cost of the dispensers that we've recouped over this contract. So actually you'll see prices go down if you just renew it. If you choose to bid it, you'll have to replace, potentially if we lose the business, you'd have to replace all the dispensers, and you'd have the cost of putting the bid out to the street and the costs with the newspaper and things like that through the contract. The other thing that we've talked with Greg about is the fact that someone would have to replace those units. And now that the jail is full and occupied, it's a little different deal than it was back when we were doing it prior to occupancy. In addition, I'd just like to point out that although the contract is technically expiring, this is approximately a $20,000 a year expenditure for you. Your office supply business has never been bid. It is purchased through a company out of Florida that you've bought from for years. We've never had an opportunity to secure that business. So if you feel that, these products should be in a situation where they're actually being bid, I would appreciate if that would be considered as well, because it's kind of a double standard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we appreciate being
we have to
the
get a legal
county
opinion
vendor.
as to whether we can just renew the contract or not. I mean, that's a legal question that we'll have to have an answer on. So, Jill, if you can take a look at that and give us an opinion. I certainly don't have any. I mean, I think Samco's done a good job, and I certainly don't have any problem with renewing the contract as long as we can do it legally.
I think you can. I mean, there's nothing that says that you have to rebid something any certain number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when this came about, I don't know if it was Dan. Y'all have done a great job, and there's nothing against you. I was just giving the opportunity, fair opportunity, to the other suppliers, and that's who brought it up to me the first time. Was, hey, we'd like a chance to bid this. I was like, hey, sounds fair. And same with office supplies. That's a very valid point. Maybe we need to look at that, or really, I think we do need to look at that. I know when we bid it, it was fun. And I wasn't really looking forward to doing it again, so I would love to try to go around doing that. But if we do that, we're going to have probably some ticked off people. So we need to contact them first and find out. I'd rather ask, are you going to be able to touch the prices? You obviously got the bid before because it was the lowest and best bid. You know, if they're saying, no, we're not going to be able to beat the bid, don't worry about rebidding it. We're not going to waste our time either, then I think we can go around it. But I think we got to give them a fair chance to either come up and address us on their opinion of it. As much as I don't want to.
I'd like to get the opinion from Jill's point of view there. Office supplies, I thought we went through MAC.
We technically bid it, we piggyback on
Yeah, we
their
piggyback on MAC.
Yes.
But
So-
we've never bid it to find out whether there's
Right.
savings or not.
It's true.
And I do agree with Dan that you know, if we're going to put this out to bid, then I think we ought to put the office supplies out to bid and see if there's an ability to get savings on those too. There may not be. I mean, Mac's deal may be the best deal around, but then again, it may not be, and we don't know. Speaking of which, it costs us $8,500 to get that deal.
Oh,
That's the Missouri.
Yeah.
That's the national.
Oh, is it NACO that
Yeah,
does it?
NACO
Oh.
is, it only costs.
That only costs us
$1,500.
$1,500.
Yes.
I open that can too.
Yeah, I just got the bill from Mac. You know how I stand on that one.
We just hate to see you put out the expenditure and then you want us to win it anyway.
right.
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason to go through that process, and I do appreciate you buying from the county.
And y'all had to
You're the only
change
bidder on that.
a ton of dispensers whenever y'all got the contract too. So, I
What was
mean,
that?
y'all had to change a lot of dispensers.
All of them.
We
Yeah.
changed them all.
Changed
That's why
them.
you have 3-year-old dispensers, you know, so they don't
Yeah.
need to be replaced.
And I know that was one of the discussions too as well. If we do that, we're going to have to change everything. And I said, well, you know, in all fairness, that was part of the bid. So,
Contract and take off and make it so that it's automatically renewing unless canceled by either party. Just sign an amended contract.
I think the only issue there, and just from a bidding perspective, is that you're kind of at the mercy of the vendor, and not trying to point fingers at you guys, but as your costs go up, you're going to have to pass on costs because you have a certain amount of money that you need to make in order to stay in business, and so so what's that incremental percentage, and things are going up, so. One question I did have, though, is as those dispensers break, do you guys replace those, or is that something that we have to purchase new and have them installed? And I don't know what all's. I assume over in the jail they're all metal, pretty heavy duty. I mean, are those guys tearing those things up? So,
Knock on wood, not yet.
Typically, if we're supplying the product to the dispenser, we'll maintain it.
you replace a dispenser here or there if it breaks. Yeah. Okay.
That's something Paul and Debbie been good about, getting us extra dispensers when we need them, when something does go wrong.
They're not actually in the pods. We don't put them in the pods. They'd have those down in about 10 minutes. So they're not actually in the pods. They're throughout our facility. They're not actually in the pods.
they're out in the common area?
Actually, they're not in the secure area. They're in the break room, they're in the bathroom for staff. I don't think any of the inmates have access to any of those dispensers.
Toilet paper, stuff like that?
They have, they're actually built into the wall, the dispensers
Okay. Yeah, Joe, if you just take a look at it, and then I think we just have to make a decision whether we bid it or,
If you could
or
give us
we.
a memo on that, so we have some, because I do have a concern, because it is over $4,500, how the bid statute applies. You know, my concern would be, we would commit, we would do what looks like the legal thing to do, which is amend a contract, and then find out from a competitor that the statute says you have to bid once your contract expires and doesn't give us the authority. And I've never looked at it, so I don't know the answer to that question. So if you could take a look and just get us something, so we have something in writing that will go, because this, I think it's something we're going to need something in writing, regardless of what we do.
My recollection is, I'll look, but there's nothing that says that. It doesn't get into the weeds that much.
Who was the other one that bid? We had Smith, and then we had three of them bidding, right?
Hilliard and JCI.
Okay. I mean, I just want to, in all fairness, give them, at least talk to them and see, maybe even have an open meeting. They can come up here, and if they want to, you know, be totally against not rebidding it, then we can discuss it then, get them in on it. Because if you didn't get the bid or the contract, and you were on the outside looking in, I mean, would it change your opinion on it? Or would you say, heck with it, I'd have to change, you know, $6,000 worth of dispensers just to try to get the bid? You know, is it going to be worth it over 3 years? So.
Well, there again, I'm a Cole County vendor and the taxpayer here, so the fact that you're gonna go to this expense to rebid it because someone from Miller County wants to bid on it, I'm not sure that's.
Well, he lives in Cole County.
Are any of these businesses Are any of these Cole County businesses we're talking
It
about?
doesn't have to be the lowest. It can be the lowest and best.
That brings up a good point. We were low last time, and you know how much you went through to get those guys off your back. So
Because we was counting how many
if
sheets
you
of
took
paper
our
were
bid
in.
and it wasn't low, good luck with that.
And maybe, we have a standard that we usually do a 3-year rollover on all of our bids. Maybe this is one of those particular bids that we should make longer. We should make for a 5 or 6 year going forward too, because of the investment we have in all of us have.
There ain't nothing wrong with looking at it every 3 years, though. So.
I don't have a problem with that, but Dan, what would your opinion be? I mean, wouldn't it be hard to kind of give us a price for a 5-year time period or a length of your contract without, you know, I mean, that's kind of a shot in the dark is,
Right.
you know, what your costs are and what your prices are going to be.
I think this was written, though, that if we had a price increase, we had to produce proof that the price went up, and we passed on that incremental amount like you talked about earlier, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that was written into this agreement. We've just been fortunate to maintain those prices,
Okay.
and now actually going to lower it. So to withdraw it now would, you know, I don't know if that'd be to your advantage or not.
Okay.
But that was the way it was written, and I would, there again, if nothing else, for the life of the dispensers, 5 years would probably be more appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. I think we have guidance on where to go.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to not rebidding it because it'd be a lot easier. It was a pain in the butt the last time.
Well, let's take a look at it, and then we can make an evaluation based upon what the facts and law are. Okay?
Yep.
So we'll stick it on February 11th.
Is that the next?
I think that's our next agenda.
Yeah.
You got- Jennifer, you have that out for bid already, or no? Okay.
I think that's in June.
Okay.
Yeah, we're ahead of the
Okay.
curve. Let's set that for February 11th. Thank you all very much. And you're certainly welcome to come on February 11th. Thank you. Okay, next item is signing of surplus titles.
Yes, these are 3 vehicles for the sheriff's department.
Right. All right, I entertain a motion to.
Maybe more.
I would entertain a motion to approve surplus titles.
So moved.
Second.
I just had a question. Go ahead, Jeff.
Motion second. Any discussion?
Just out of useful life, wrecked,
We're dead.
dead. Okay.
Let me rephrase that. They're an operating.
All of the above.
They'll be able to go to the auction.
They're operational.
They can drive to the auction. That's the extent of it.
Drive or push or whatever.
They'll get there. Well,
Okay.
one way or the other, they'll get there.
I just noticed some of them said Cole County Sheriff Department. Now, I was looking through them earlier to see whose they were. So, do we not title them all the
They
same?
should all
or
be
is that-
titled in Cole County.
Is that just an old one before we started doing that?
I think it was an older one. I think that all the
Okay.
newer ones are now titled.
And I don't know if it really matters.
And
So,
more than likely, that's probably me. Sometimes I probably put County of Cole sometimes.
Yeah.
well, you're grounded.
That's what he wanted in the first place.
Sorry, Greg.
No, that's all right. No helicopter. We're all right.
Okay. Well, I just noticed it, and like I said, I didn't know if it mattered or not.
They all come to y'all.
Any other discussion?
No.
Motion and second. Would you call roll, please?
Mark,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Yes.
By roll call votes, surplus titles are signed. Is there anything else come before the commission before we go into closed session?
I'll send you something.
Going once.
I do have a few items, but admin stuff, so I'm
Go,
sure.
Deb.
Go. Do them.
Well, these are in the same line as the public foster care. I sent you guys a letter about Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
Would you like them to come, or can I put their contract on the?
I got an email from Kelly Smith talking a little bit about. I ran into Kyle Cottrell, who is, I think, their president or the head of their building committee. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, he's one of the project managers. I'm not sure what his title is.
And they had submitted a contract for us.
Exactly.
And I had mentioned to him that when we started putting money into Habitat, the purpose was really to renovate old houses, to try to restore some of the neighborhoods that were falling down and doing better. And they had submitted something that was like putting in a sewer line in Westview Heights or something like that. And Kelly had asked if we wanted to have a They're also doing a restore in town, or a renovation, rehab, whatever the right term is. So before we, I don't know that I want to invest money in a sewer line in Westview Heights.
Is that what that one is, Debbie?
It doesn't say that on this one, but it does say that on the letter.
Well, wouldn't that be the city's responsibility to put in a sewer line?
Well, if it's the main, it's the city. If it's a lateral,
I
it's
see.
yours.
I can't.
see.
Come on, I can't find that damn thing.
I've talked to her and she's given me an address of a house.
Yeah, I think-
And that's what I've plugged into the agreement.
It's 55 Bagnell Drive.
What they're wanting to do is a sewer line. It's not to do the actual rehab of the house. I don't. Probably is necessary to have the sewer line done. Don't get me wrong.
And all I'm asking is if you want them to come.
Well, I'm trying to decide whether we want to do the sewer line or do we want to do a house.
Well, I guess my question would be is they bought a house in Westview Heights and they're rehabbing it and the sewer line's bad, so they can't, is it just a residential line that has to go from the house to the main that's just got a break in it?
Why don't you have them come up? You already gone beyond any knowledge I have.
Okay, same thing with Able Learning. We know what they do, so I'm not sure if you want them to come up. at
I don't
this
know
point.
what they do, so yes.
Okay. I'll have them come up too.
Okay.
Okay. Historical Society,
Yes, please.
have them come.
Yes.
Okay. Senior Nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
I don't even think you need to ask anymore now. I think you've pretty much gone.
yeah, start off.
It is probably good. I think it's probably good to periodically have everybody who we contract with come up. So I think that's a good.
Man, Habitat. They got pretty specific saying exactly what they're going to use it for, which
Which is
that's what
good, which
asked
we wanted for.
But maybe we should have said it's going to use to help future build at 5500 Bagnell Drive.
And then it's a request that you have to be notified, so you want them to come.
But it's up to them.
What's,
That hot rod bike tour and hot rod car tour.
and what was the cost on the sponsorship on that? $1,500.
No, $1,500 for the hot bikes and $25,000 to $5,000 for the hot rod.
And they're wanting both,
Yeah,
either or.
I mean, they did not call me or talk to me. I got that email one day.
Can they get us some more specifics on what they think that will draw? I mean, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if it's like a big tractor pull.
Why don't we have them come up?
Yeah.
Because they're saying 2,000 to 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Have them come up. If you would contact them and have them come up.
Okay. And committees, I know Melody gave you this list of committees and the ones that
Yeah,
are
we're gonna have to
expiring.
start doing stuff on that.
Get on those. So, I'll just remind you of that.
I'd like to get an update from the zoning, planning and zoning on when this final, I assume that thing is pretty well final and that we should be getting that out.
Yeah, well, it has been a while. We haven't talked about that for a while.
Okay.
Probably be
So
good.
in one of the next few agendas or something, if they could come up and see what the time frame is to get that out to the public, and I still assume we're looking at a fall date to get that on the ballot.
That's what I've heard. I don't know any more about it though.
I think they've gotten some change requests from Board of Realtors and maybe a couple minor ones from the home builders, and they were trying to get that in there and cleaned up. Just trying to keep it as vague and simple as possible, so it's not a waste of time going through all this. Get hold of Dick Pearson or Chris and see where they're at with it.
Chris.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Thinking of Chris Yarnell.
No. Female Chris.
Chris Marcassi.
No.
No.
Henley. Chris Henley.
No.
Is she on it, Chris
Larry.
Henley?
You're on camera, just saying.
Shannon. I mean, wouldn't Shannon know too?
Shannon. Sorry. And then I did have this company come in to go over our utility bills, basically sunshine our utility bills. Wanted to make sure they're just like the phone audit
Right.
places that come in and want to find some stuff wrong. I did give him the information, and it will take 8 to 10 weeks before he gets back with me. So,
Is it like an energy audit or what?
yeah, it's basically it's about the taxes and all the other things that they give us on the utility bills that hard to read sometimes if we're getting
Okay.
charged right or we're not getting charged right. So
Chris
they'll-
Ballage.
There you go. Good job.
That was hurting.
All right.
We shall not speak.
Is that everything, Debbie?
No, one other thing I'd like to ask you, accounts payable, I know I ask you for those approvals twice a month, but periodically through the months, we have grand jury workers, election workers. Can I get those approved at a different date? It's just because it's so much in one day for our girls to do. It's easier if we can do these separately.
I don't have a problem with grand jury and election, or jury and election workers, as long as those don't start to migrate into, oh, I got this invoice that came in today. Oh, I got this invoice that came in today.
It is definitely just grand jury people.
But I don't, because I understand that. I'm serious. I don't want it to be, because we're going to look at these, and I don't want to look at them and find, oh, there's a credit card bill in here. Why is there a credit card bill in here, Debbie? Well, somebody brought it up, and we were already doing the grand jury one.
I won't do that.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I guess I'm okay with it. I mean, why can't we approve them on the same time and you just run a batch at a different time?
Do that too. You guys.
I mean, I'm just asking.
That's just it's too much in one day, so we'd have to wait till the next day to run them. So we'd have to make sure we tell the people, oh, those checks won't be ready till the day after. But we can do it.
I mean, I'm being Jeff. I'm playing devil's advocate here. So,
I'm just
you know, I mean, I just,
feeling that's what I'm asking.
I was kind of wondering the same thing. I trust you to say, okay, it's just easier for us to do.
It's an administrative convenience.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a workflow
If-
thing.
If it's going to make it that much easier on y'all, okay.
I'm okay with it. However you want to do it. I'll make you happy today.
Oh, okay. All
Don't ask for anything else.
Are you supposed to run too now?
Ask for the car.
Helicopter boat, what else?
I need one.
Governor got a jet.
What, though?
Chris is in a generous mood today. Okay. I entertain a motion to go in closed session pursuant to 610-021 sub 18 and 19 to deal with security issues and proposed security systems.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Call the roll, please, Betty.
Chris,
Yes.
Jeff,
Aye.
Yes. By roll call vote, we'll go into closed session to deal with security matters. Let me get some more coffee. You guys want any?
We got meeting with you too?
Coffee? Jeff?
Yeah, I'll have some.
Yeah.
I'll go I'll just bring the pot in.
Okay.
Oh, you're in a closed session too? Okay.
Do you hear me?
No.
What?